Prayer of the Mari People. Translation of an excerpt from The Folk Culture of the Slavs by Kazimierz Myszyński. The text of the prayer was recorded by Ivan Nikolaevich Smirnov and originally published in 1889. Myszyński included this text in the second volume of The Folk Culture of the Slavs. The Mari people are an ethnic group of Finno-Ugric origin who originally inhabited the areas along the Volga and Kama rivers in present-day Russia. At the time of Myszyński's research, the Maris were actively and openly pagan, some still are today, and elements of their religion included, among others, sacred groves maintained as places of worship. In The Folk Culture of the Slavs, Kazimierz Myszyński discusses elements of Mari culture to illustrate what the rituals of pre-Christian, pagan Slavs might have looked like. In the original text by Myszyński, the person who leads prayers, invocations, and the overall ritual, as well as performs or oversees animal sacrifices, is called ofiarnik, which is Polish for a sacrificer. Among the Maris, such person is called cart, so that's the name I used in translation. Translation by Vitya. The text of the prayer as follows. Here we offer unbroken bread to the great God. We pour a full ladle of beer, we light a large silver candle for the great God. By making these full offerings, we ask the great, good God for health, the growth of our family, the growth of our cattle, and abundance of bread. We ask for harmony in the family and for health. May He hear our prayers and grant us the abundance we ask for. Offering these full sacrifices, we set the cattle free into the fields. Good great God, grant the cattle health and peace. Great and good God, make food and drink nourishing for the cattle. When we set the cattle free, protect them, great God, from harmful winds, from deep swamps, from deep quicksand, from the evil eye and tongue, from the spellbinding witcher, from all who disturb the peace, from wolves, bears, and all predatory animals. Great and good God, make barren cattle fertile, make the scrawny fat, make their pastures lush, multiply all cattle, great and good God. Rejoice us with every kind of cattle. When the season of spring work arrives, as we go out to the fields to work, plowing and sowing seed by seed, O great God, make their roots spread wide, their stalks strong, and their heads full like silver buds. Great God, grant the sown grain warm rains, grant it peaceful nights, protect it from the cold and hail, protect it from strong storms and scorching heat, great God. Great and good God, when through your grace it grows, and we, having consulted with our family, come to the field and, taking a sickle, begin to reap, grant us a bountiful harvest in handfuls and in sheaves, grant us a bountiful harvest in heaps and in stacks. And when we load the sheaves from the piles onto the cart, great and good God, grant us a bountiful harvest. Good and great God, when we set up the thrashing floors at all the edges of the field, grant us a bountiful harvest, good and great God, and in the thrashing floors on the thrashing ground, grant us a bountiful harvest, when we dismantle the thrashing floors and spread them out on the thrashing ground under the flails and during winnowing, grant us a bountiful harvest. Great and good God, and when we are winnowing the grain, grant us a bountiful harvest. Grant us a harvest as plentiful as the sands of the Volga River. Great and good God, grant us a bountiful harvest of bread in all vessels. When we bake this bread, after feeding those who come hungry and sending them on their way, and after giving to those who ask and sending them on their way, we will sit down to eat and drink with our kin and 77 friends. Grant us an unending abundance of bread. Great and good God, we ask you for a bounty for the bees. Make the bees' wings strong. Great and good God, grant that in the morning dew they may find a good harvest. Great and good God, when we go out into the fields, there are cocks of the woods there are hazel hens there are all kinds of birds there. Make them meet us, great and good God, delight us with an abundance of birds. Great and good God, when having girded ourselves with bows and arrows, we enter the forest, there are foxes with you, there are spotted bobcats with you. There are squirrels with you. There are all kinds of animals there with you, great and good God, make all these various animals meet with us, delight us with an abundance of all kinds of animals. Great and good God, send down your heavenly mist and lift the earthly mist up to heaven. Great and good God, grant a bountiful harvest to the grain sown between the two mists, send a gentle breeze, grant peace, grant abundance to all three kinds of livestock, make them fertile, grant the livestock peace and health, grant abundant offspring to the family. Grant the family peace and health, protect from fire and water. Great and good God. Just as now the sun shines, just as the moon rises, just as the sea, having filled itself, stands full, so too, with the growth of our family, the abundance of livestock, the abundance of silver and wealth, and all abundance, great and good God, bring us joy. Let us live singing like a swallow, leading life as smooth as silk, playing like a grove, rejoicing like the mountains. We are young. Perhaps what should have been said first, we said later, and what should have been said later, we said first. Grant us wisdom, kindness, health, and peace. Let us live well, keep us in happiness, make our lives long-lived. God have mercy, let us live well. Commentary by Mashinsky as follows. The words, "We are young, etc." are a traditional formula recited by the carts regardless of their age. The entire prayer above, as is evident from its nature, was undoubtedly recited during major annual celebrations. With minor, insignificant exceptions, the text is identical to the one in the Mari language received by V. Porca, who studied the Mari language among the Maris in 1885-86, from G. Yakovlev of the village of Unja in the Kervo-Koksha district of the former Kazan Governorate. Yakovlev was likely the primary source for Porca on the one hand, and for Russian researchers on the other.